guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Wedding Talk Show. I'm literally really excited, as you can tell, and the fact that I get to do this every week, put up new videos, educational content about your wedding, how you can plan your wedding, get the best out of your wedding, because you know your wedding day has to be perfect. It's a must. It has to be perfect. And sharing my knowledge as an event planner, as a wedding planner with you guys, and I'm excited. Actually, I'm happy to share this knowledge with you guys. And you know what we're going to do, since it's the end of the year, just let me know what you've learned over the course of this podcast. So since you saw our YouTube channel, since you saw our podcast, what have you learned? Let me know in the comment section below. And it's just to encourage us. Of course, we're not going to stop even if you don't say anything. Yeah, but don't be a bad person. Make sure you type something. How has this been beneficial to you? Let us know. Also, you know what? It's a season to share, right? Do not hold this information. You have someone that is getting married. You know someone that is single, planning to get married, or maybe you're even single. You're thinking December. You know, there's nobody to do matching pajamas with and things like that. You know, they say there's this member I saw, say miracle don't retire Jesus. So don't give up, just share with them, because you know that they are going to get married or meet the love of their life someday soon, right? So share with them. And yeah, so I have a very exciting topic today, and then we'll just go straight into it, right? Money. Yes, it is a money matter. You know, they say money makes the world go around, money makes things happen. I say money answers a lot. No, they say money answers all things. There's a lot of things that money answers to, and especially this is particularly true when you're planning your wedding. I'm sure you've been doing that, preparing that budget. You're canceling. They're like, oh, my budget is 10 million naira. But you're doing, you're creating that budget, but the budget is not budgeting. You understand? And you're like, hey, we need to begin to cut costs. You know, I think it happens to everybody, or most couples, when they're planning their wedding. They're like, I want this, I want that. And by the time you draw up, you put it up maybe in an Excel sheet, or if you're using the Perfect Wedding Planner Handbook, you've written it down, and it's like, no, this thing no jello. It's not, you know, the budget is not budgeting, because it's like, where is this? I thought it was just 10 items. How come it's this money? I thought it was just, you know, a little here, a little there, a sprinkle of some extra cash, but you need to get on with this wedding. And then you're checking at, okay, so how can I save money for my wedding? I'm planning my wedding. I don't want to take, because weddings are sentimental. I mean, you get married once in a lifetime. You hope to get married once in a lifetime. And then you want to ensure that that day, the memories you're able to create on that day outlive you. You share with your friends, you share with your families, you share with your children yet unborn, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren. So you want to make sure that you get the best out of it, right? So as there's now constraints regarding budgets, regarding the amount of money you have to spend for the wedding, what do you do? How do you save costs? And that is what I'm going to be talking about. I have like many things or many ways for you to save costs, so just stick around. If you've not subscribed to our channel, this is the right time for you to do that. Make sure you do that now. Hit the bell notification button so you get notified every time we post a new video. So number one tip is consider other days of the week. So apart from your regular weekend, if you're in Nigeria, most event centers, because Saturdays majorly are like peak periods, you know that even if I don't sell this venue out, there's a very high chance that 1 month, 2 months before that day, I'm going to sell out the Saturday. So if you're thinking about, oh, okay, so how do I cut costs? Think about other days of the week, particularly Mondays to Thursdays. You can get cheaper deals with event centers. They give you, because they give you the consensus, you know, it's better to have a client than have the all empty on that day. So consider other days of the week. That is the first step. Number two, and that is hire a wedding planner. I know for a lot of people it sounds counterintuitive because they're like, event planners are not cheap, they are not cheap. I'm seeing bill and I'm like, can't I rugged this? Can't I just rough it and plan this thing myself? But the truth of the matter is that apart from the fact that you're getting professional service, apart from the fact that, I mean, wedding planners, it's a no-brainer for me. Like, just hire a wedding planner. They help you keep your budget. They help you stay on track with your budget. They can get the best deals. They know how to negotiate things for you. You understand? So it just makes sense to get the services of a wedding planner to save costs for your wedding. Another way to save cost on your wedding is, you know what? Skip the hard copy invitation. I know you want to send out invitations and things like that, but you know what? I mean, we're in social media age. Half of the people, sometimes you have people, couples that print these wedding cards and they don't even get to distribute it. You understand? Because somebody is in the US, somebody is in Canada, somebody is in Kogi, somebody is in Lagos, somebody is on the island, another person is in Ikeja. Like, people are all over, your guests are all over the world, and you're thinking there's this logistics part of, okay, so how do I distribute it? Sometimes you say, even if you're doing, sometimes people consider, or you say, oh, I need to have invitation cards because I'm doing strictly by invitation. I want to ensure that everybody knows. But the truth of the matter is, even if you're doing strictly by invitation, I mean, you can send 8 copies of your invitation card. So I would, as a graphics designer, design something, or this invitation invites one only. In fact, you can even go the extra step to include specific names on your invitation cards. Share it on WhatsApp, send it to their emails. You would save costs on the printing cost, printing your invitation card, and you get the best. You get what you want. It serves its purpose. So I mean, that's a good deal. How you save costs ditching your invitation card is have a website. So have a website, your wedding website. Refer all your guests, especially the younger ones, refer them to the website. Or RSVP, you have information about the website, how we met, what's the wedding plan, all of those things would be on your wedding website. So you save cost. You don't have to print it looking for auntie, mommy Kayode, me tell mommy mo ṣe fẹ́ send the wedding card yẹn sí invitation card ó ti ready okay, and then you think about bóyá Bọ́lá wá gbà lẹ́ni kò ní gbà lọ́la, a dispatch rider, all of those things, spending extra cost to actually like distribute it around to all your guests. Save that cost, and you know you can add it to something else, right? Yes. Number 3 way to save cost on your wedding is to repurpose your furniture. For most event centers in Lagos, I know that newer ones are beginning to add particular chairs to their wedding, to the all package. So you have, oh, okay, you can get this number of chairs, you can get this number of chivalry chairs, it comes with this number of dear chairs and things like that. Because gone are the days where we use banquet chairs. Like, everybody use banquet chairs now, you're like, why? Like, why? Please, why? But for your wedding, gone are the days we use those type of chairs. So if, for example, you have an all-in-one wedding, so maybe your traditional wedding or your church wedding, the vow ceremony, it's in the same location, then you repurpose the furniture. So you can take from the chairs, the number of chairs that has been given to you, or the number of chairs you're renting, use it for your vow ceremony. After the vow ceremony, have a break in between, maybe like a cocktail hour and things like that. Get people that will take the chairs back, so you don't have to rent multiple chairs or multiple furnitures for the same event. It will help you save costs, and that also leads to, you know what, why not have everything at the same venue? Yes, it makes sense, especially if you're doing like a one-day event. Do everything, your traditional wedding, your church wedding, and then your reception at the same location, so that you have the logistics of transporting from one location to the other is lesser. You can book your hotel closer to that venue, so that people don't have to be running around. You know how you're not bringing somebody from 3 hours, you know, and especially if you're not in Lagos, Lagos traffic. Say on your wedding day, be like, you can't even vex because you're seeing the map everywhere is red, and And you're like, what happened? What happened? Lagos traffic, some of them are predictable, some of them are not predictable. Like, you just pass now, another person's coming behind you, and the person is using 30 minutes in a 5-hour drive. Sorry, 5 minutes drive. I'm like, what exactly is going on? But I mean, it's the city of Lagos, the state of excellence. But those things happen, so why not have everything at the same location? Saves cost on a whole lot of things. That is a way to save cost on your wedding. This next point is going to be very controversial. You know, part of what we have as wedding traditions is that you have a wedding cake, and ditch your wedding cake, like take it out or move it and say, I bought the wedding cake. And this is particularly for people that, so maybe you don't eat cake, you're not a cake fan, or you don't just, it's not one of those things you do a lot, or it's not an item you like. Cake, like why? But so you can take it out completely. Or if you feel like, oh, you know what, I know me and my husband must cut cake, you know, you must say, you know how FCC say feed your husband that first toast, you must toast it. Then you can downsize your cake. So instead of having like a 3 or 4 tier cake, you can have 1 tier. Because I've had people, like, after the wedding, some people even forget their wedding cakes at the reception hall, because you're like, who will I give it to? Maybe, okay, typically you do 1 tier for the parents of, for the family of the groom, 1 tier for the family of the bride, and then 1 tier for the couple. And then some people are like, you know, they chop cake now, where we won't put them, and just, you know what, just distribute it. Or some families even forget it, you give them and then they forget it, because you're like, oh, what are we going to give it to? So there's a lot you can, if you are in that situation, or you feel like you'll be in that situation, then take out the cost of the cake, so you don't have to do a wedding cake. I like to tell people that really, when it comes to wedding traditions, there is no law that states that you must do certain things. Of course, you must get married, like you have to have a husband to get married as a woman, and as a man you have to have a wife or a bride to get married, right? Those are like, that's like the only thing that is compulsory. Of course, your parents have to consent and be present at your wedding. So every other thing, you know, you can let your personal touch shine. Like, you are individual, you are unique individuals. Let your uniqueness shine. So you can either take out the cost of the cake or downsize the cake. And then in terms of the appearance of the cake, one of the things that, apart from the design, when you have fondant cakes are typically more expensive than your regular buttercream cakes and things like that. So you can think about the design. Maybe you have a budget in mind, you can downsize that budget and then work with your baker to say, okay, this is my budget, what can it achieve? So you can take out the fondant cake, have something really nice that doesn't have to be expensive, because I mean, at the end of the day, another way you can save cost on your wedding is rent your wedding dress. Yes, I know. You want to be the first person to put on the dress. Of course, even me, I'm not sure that I would want to wear a dress that somebody else has put on. But there are vendors. There are actually vendors that rent out dresses, and then they allow you be the first person to put it on. So you pick the dress and you pay less, or rather you pay a particular percentage for the cost of the dress, and then, you know, they have terms and conditions. You be the first person to put it on, you pick the type of dress you want, and then you don't spend the whole cost. Of course, with that kind of wedding dress, you will not get something really custom made, right? If you don't mind. So you can save cost on your wedding dress, rent your wedding dress. If it's a traditional outfit, you're in Nigerian, and with Nigerians, we do our traditional wedding because that's like our culture. That's like our culture. That is what we do in the country, in and out of the country actually. That's what represents us. And for traditional weddings, of course, I wouldn't even advise that you go and rent traditional wedding dress, because there's just this thing with traditional wedding dresses, like you can pick the style, you can pick the, especially for Yoruba people, you can pick the colors, you can pick how it is combined. Like they make it from scratch, like your actual case, like you from beginning, you get that kind of thing. So it's just like, but of course you can still save cost in terms of the design, in terms of the tailoring. You can decide to pick a tailor or a designer that is not as expensive as particular ones, good ones. So before you got a wedding dress and then say, please give us, you better go, how far your emergency kit, bring it, this has a problem, there's an issue with this place. Oh yeah, needle and thread, sharp on the wedding day. Of course you don't want that, so you have to get a good wedding planner. Don't, in the bid to save costs, skimp on particular things. You need quality over quantity, right? Yes. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about in saving money for your wedding is take out the extras in your photography package, and you can do it for now, right? I'm not saying don't do it at all, but take it out for now, because remember you're on a tight budget. I don't want to use it, remember you're on a budget, because people feel like everybody has a budget, even billionaires have budgets, right? So it doesn't, but the word budget doesn't have to mean, oh, I'm cheap or I don't have money. It's just, oh, this is the amount we want to spend on this, or this is the amount I have to spend on this, right? So you think about, okay, take out your, say, photo book, take out your photo frames and things like that, because those costs actually impact on, they're included in your bill. Actually, they're included in your photography package and things like that. So you can take that out to have, or you know what, I'm going to do this at a later time. You can even negotiate with your photographer to say, okay, can I have the layout, because one of the difficult parts of it is, or the layout, how the pictures will come out in your photo book, and maybe you feel like, oh, I don't want to have to deal with this later. You can discuss and negotiate with your photographer so that you can have that included in the package, but don't have the print. And I've seen examples where, for example, you came to Nigeria, you're not living in the country, and you traveled, you came back to get married, and of course your photo book, your photo frames and all of that would not be ready immediately. So maybe after the wedding, like you went to honeymoon, from honeymoon to your country, back to your country, right? So now that my photo book is ready, maybe 2 months after, how does it get to me? And you're like, no, we're just looking at each other. I've had cases where couples don't get to even see their wedding book until like 1 year, 6 months, 3 months after their wedding, because of the logistics. And I'm like, okay. And it can be an alternative, especially when you're trying to save costs, to say, okay, I'm going to take this out for now and maybe print it later. Maybe by the time you are coming, you can print it in your country, at your location. You can also decide that, you know what, if I take this out, maybe at a later time I'll be able to print it at even better quality, because your photo book, your photo frames, they have varying qualities, and then they have varying sizes also. So I'm sure that with these tips you are able to save cost. And you know what, let's go get the best wedding, because you deserve it. Yes, everybody deserves the best wedding. Oh, sorry, I forgot. My final tip is to use a budgeting tool, right? So this book is called the Perfect Wedding Handbook, and in it is actually like really loaded. We have a budgeting tool in that book. So if you don't have a budgeting tool, you can definitely get that book. I'm going to leave the link in the description, and then you can access the book. You can just download the book and print if you want to, or use it or use the e-version, right? So get these things. These are things that will help you save cost on your wedding. And then let's say you're slaying on a budget, you're slaying your wedding on a budget, and you're like, oh, it's how much? Sorry, I have a wedding coming up in 2 months, in 3 months, and I really love this setting. I like the way this wedding is, just everything is organized, everything is planned properly. Like, how much should I be budgeting? What cost? More, yeah, pro is savings. Yeah, pro, I give it to you. Wow. Oh, you mean you spent that little on all this? No. twale mama and things like that. When they are hailing you, don't forget to tell them that it's Eventigo that helped us, so because we did not know about it, or we knew some but it was not complete, but she was able to break it down and things like that. So I'm going to see you in another episode. You can tell that I'm excited. I'm happy actually to connect. I would like to connect with you guys, so just let me know where you're watching from or where you're listening from in the comment section below, and I'll see you in another episode. Bye bye.